Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic procession and the Chancellor.
I declare that the 614th Convocation of McMaster University for the conferring of degrees is now in session.
Please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Dr. Susan Tai, and I am privileged to serve as Provost and Vice President Academic at McMaster University. I have the great pleasure of acting as your Master of Ceremonies this afternoon, welcoming the graduates and guests to this convocation ceremony. On behalf of the university, I would like to recognize and acknowledge that we meet today on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee nations and within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. We must remember that we all have a role in upholding the spirit of this agreement, which urged for the peaceful sharing of Earth's resources. We must also not forget that merely acknowledging our presence on these traditional lands is only a small step on our shared path to reconciliation. I challenge you to consider how you can foster reconciliation among the many peoples that inhabit these lands. I would like to start today's proceedings by acknowledging some of the notable leaders that join me on the stage today. Our Chancellor, Ms. Santee Smith, President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. David Farrar, Dean of the DeGroote School of Business, Dr. Khalid Hassini, and Associate Deans, Chairs, faculty members, and honored guests. Before we start our formal program, I would please ask that you turn off any electronic devices that you have, as we don't want to have any expected rings or beeps during the ceremony. I would now like to call upon Chancellor Ms. Santee Smith to deliver the Thanksgiving address and make her welcoming remarks.
Yahweh, thank you. Sego, Sewaguego, greetings everyone. Wat Kwinuwalado, welcome. honored guests, staff, family, friends, colleagues, and faculty members, and most importantly, graduands. Before we begin, I would like to share the words before all else, also known as the Thanksgiving address in the Kaingeha language, the Mohawk language. Se watohosios ne gatni galiwesa, ne ona, ne angaleho hetste, ne ganawala donsula. These are words of thanksgiving that help to bring our minds and hearts together to acknowledge, give thanks, affirm our interconnections and interdependency, to cultivate compassion and caring and kindness, and to recognize our responsibilities for sustaining and upholding the delicate balance and to live in peace with all creation. Let us take time to remember those who may be ill, sick, or hurting, that these words may also uplift their minds and hearts. Daitinu walaro ne ongwe su'a, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give greetings and acknowledge the people, our ancestors, our family, friends, people from all nations. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne yetini stoha johonjade, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give greetings and gratitude to our Mother Earth, for she provides us with everything that we need to survive and thrive. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne ganega lunyo, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give thanks and greetings to the waters, from the oceans to the streams, to the waters flowing in our bodies. Water is life. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne gonjunk su'a, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give greetings to the fish life, for they provide us with nourishment and purify the waters. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne yotunduni, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give greetings and gratitude to all of the plants, from the grasses to the medicines that help to purify and strengthen our bodies. Now our minds are one. Daitinu walaro ne odzit no su'a, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give greetings to the insects who help to pollinate the plants. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne jon hekwa, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give acknowledgement and gratitude to our sustenance foods. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne wahyariunta, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give greetings to the fruit life who help to nourish our body. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne gonzirium, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give thanks to all of the animals who sacrifice their lives to help sustain us and who are our teachers. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne zito onguam, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give greetings and acknowledgement to the birds whose beautiful singing help to uplift our spirits and provide peace and calm in our hearts. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne galunda ongua, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give greetings and thanks to the trees. We cannot live without the oxygen that they provide. Their roots and sap provide us with medicine and cleansing for our body. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne zoer la warnier, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We acknowledge the circulating winds who travel the earth, bringing new life and new breath. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne ladiwerlas, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give thanks to the grandfather thunderers for purifying the air and awakening the earth and awakening us. So be it in our minds. Datsi dawanu walaro ne anjangeni galakwa, eto na yonto hage ne nagwat nigula. We give acknowledgement to our eldest brother, Sun, who appears consistently each morning to provide us with sunshine, protection, and sustenance for all living things. So be it in our minds. Dayatinu walaro ne asatanega wat nirale eto na yontahage ne naguat nigula. We acknowledge our grandmother Moon for her powerful pull on our waters, connection to women and birth. So be it in our minds. Dayatinu walaro ne yudzi ston warlunyo eto na yontahage ne naguat nigula. We give thanks to the stars, the cosmos, for providing us with guidance and direction, so be it in our minds. Dayatinu walaro ne deyunkiyadadom eto na yontohage ne naguatnigula. We give greetings and gratitude to our protectors, our spiritual guardians who provide us with clarity of mind and peace in our hearts, so be it in our minds. Tatsi tawanuwalaro ne sungwayandeso. Eto na yontahage ne naguatnigula. We give greetings to creation, to the Great Spirit, the creative energy that lives in everything and everywhere and in all of us. So be it in our minds. Da eto ni gawanage, da eto. Nyawai for listening to those words and going geha. This is a very shortened Thanksgiving address because we, in the long version, would in fact talk to every animal, every insect, and that could last for days. So we don't have that time. But we bring our minds together to unify our hearts and to acknowledge our humbleness in front of the immensity of the creative living universe of which we are a very small part as human beings. It provides us with daily context about our interdependence and our responsibilities for upholding this peace, the delicate balance, with care and gratitude. We are grateful today to be here in acknowledgement and celebration of all of your achievements, especially through challenging times that we've had. Let us honor the work that has been done. Let us honor the graduands and their family, many people who have supported you and stood behind you, and in many cases played a key role in you being here today. You have achieved a great deal to get here, and you should be very proud of your success and looking forward to what the future may hold. Congratulations. Please enjoy the ceremony. Nyawe.
Thank you, Chancellor Smith. I would like to introduce Dr. Khalid Hassanein, Dean of the DeGroote School of Business, to make his own welcoming remarks, and then we'll present the honorary doctorate recipient.
Thank you, Dr. Tai. And congratulations, class of 2022. I'm honored to be here in person with all of you today. It is my great privilege to share this very special moment with you. I know what it feels like to sit in your seat, to be robed and full of excitement surrounded by your peers. I know the joy you feel, taking photos with your family and acknowledging the tremendous accomplishments and sacrifices that led you to this day, this seat, and this one special moment. So allow me to share some of the wisdom I have accumulated over the years when it comes to convocations. First, do not trip on the edge of the carpet on your way up to the stage, okay? Very important. I almost did coming in. Only follow the person in front of you if they know where they're going. And do let your parents take as many photos as they want. They have earned this right. On a more serious note, though, you are now a graduate. Now it's time for you to go out on your own, to start your own adventure. Remember that you're not alone. Look around you at the peers and colleagues that have been with you over the last several years. You studied together, attended class together, stayed up late to complete assignments together, and supported one another during challenging times, including my Excel assignment, I will. This same DeGroote community will be with you as you transition into your new career. You may even see familiar faces when you enter the workplace. They may sit across from you in the boardroom and volunteer with you in the community. No matter what is on the horizon for you, as you head out into the business world, I hope you take with you a strong sense of community from your time at DeGroote and McMaster. McMaster University is a special place for me. I've been here for almost 22 years, and throughout this time, I've had the privilege of seeing many cohorts graduate. Throughout my career, I have looked back at my time as a student with deep affection. Those experiences of learning and growing, surrounded by my peers, staff, and faculty, have helped shape who I am today. I encourage you to keep growing and engage in lifelong learning. Seek knowledge, whether it is formal education or learning from mentors and those around you. Look to the staff and faculty experts who were dedicated to your success during your time with us, and who will continue to support you as you move forward. Take with you the experiences and skills you gained both inside and outside of the classroom. Skills like creative problem solving, collaboration, critical thinking, and a global perspective. In the age of AI, these human differentiating skills will serve you well in any career you pursue. Today, you join the more than 23,000 DeGroote alumni and 220,000 McMaster alumni in 140 countries around the world. They are cabinet ministers, business leaders, scientists, university presidents, Hollywood actors, Olympians, astronauts, and Nobel laureates. The DeGroote Alumni Network is a powerful network of people, and I hope you continue to strengthen these ties. Here at DeGroote, we believe in education with purpose. I look forward to seeing the positive mark you will have on the business and society around us in years to come. You are the next generation of business leaders. Congratulations, and I wish you a bright future. Thank you. I would now like to present our honorary degree recipient. Chancellor Smith, by the authority of the Senate of McMaster University, I have the honor to present Wayne Bourbeau. Wayne was born in Jamaica and moved with his family to Toronto as a child. He was a student at McMaster when a serious accident took him away from sports and toward an interest that would become his professional focus: computers. The first senior executive role in Mr. Bourbeau's technology career was with Select Technology Group, Inc., a software developer focused on billing and customer care applications for telecommunications and internet companies. Amdocs acquired Solcat at a time when Mr. Bourbeau was the latter company's chief technology officer. He remained with Select initially before moving to a parent company as Vice President of the Strategic Vision Group and Vice President of Research and Development of Amdocs. In 2004, Mr. Bourbeau co-founded and served as the President and Chief Executive Officer of Quick Play Media, Inc., originally a privately held company providing mobile media services for clients including YouTube, Bell Mobility, Rogers, TELUS, CBC, MTV, and Chum Television. In 2010, Quick Play was named one of the fastest growing companies in Canada, having achieved an increase in revenues of 1,347% from 2005 to 2009. In 2016, AT&T purchased QuickPlay, and Mr. Prabhu became a senior vice president at AT&T and the head of the DirecTV and Entertainment division. He also played a key role in AT&T's acquisition of media giant HBO Time Warner. Mr. Prabhu joined Amazon in 2021 as the vice president of Amazon Advertising. Mr. Prabhu has served on the boards of organizations including Q Media Group, Inc., Mashup Arts, Inc., the Canadian Advanced Technology Alliance, and Glassbox Television, Inc. He's a former member of the advisory board for Virgin Unite, the independent charitable arm of the Virgin Group, and he has been involved in volunteer capacities with the Urban Alliance and Race Relations, Artscape, and Selwand. His community service has also included roles with Pathways to Education, Sheena's Place, the Consortium of New Media, and the Toronto International Film Festival, TIFF. He was part of the Sick Kids No Limits campaign cabinet in 2015. The hospital named the telemedicine room at Bestmanti Children's Hospital in honor of Prabhu's families for the family support of the Sick Kids Caribbean Initiative. In 2020, Mr. Prabhu and his wife, Nigella, co-founded the Onyx Initiative to expand the recruitment pipeline for Black college and university students and recent graduates. Onyx offers career development resources and links to corporate, educational, and community partners with the goal of closing the systemic gap in the hiring, retention, and promotion of Black Canadians. Caldwell Partners named Mr. Prabhu to its 2006 Canada's Top 40 Under 40 list, and in 2017, he received the University of West Indies Vice Chancellor's Award. Chancellor Smith, I am pleased to present to you a proud member of the McMaster community who is a double graduate of the faculties of Science and Business, a technological innovator, an accomplished entrepreneur, and a dedicated community leader, so that you may confer upon Wayne Prabhu the degree Doctor of Laws, Honors Causa.
Wayne Prabhu. By the authority of McMaster University's Senate, I have the great pleasure to confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws, Honoris Causa, in McMaster University, with all the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree. Congratulations. You can sign here. I would now like to invite Dr. Prabhu to deliver the convocation address.
Madam Chancellor, President and Vice Chancellor, faculty and staff, graduates, honored guests, family, and friends. Thank you to McMaster University for this incredible and humbling recognition. No AI engine could have predicted my journey from the rural Jamaica to this stage. My future success was not always obvious. The twists and turns of my journey did not define a clear destination. I am grateful for the love and support of my family and friends who provided the tailwind propelling me forward. If it were not for their relentless encouragement, my pathway would not have been as successful. Many Black students are not as fortunate. Black students attend colleges and universities. They graduate, but do not always receive the support and the opportunities they deserve. They often take roles in disciplines other than their area of study to make ends meet. With this misallocation, Black students are underutilized resource in the Canadian economy. My wife, Nigel and I have created the Onyx Initiative to bridge the systemic opportunity gap for Black college and university graduates. Onyx is a social entrepreneurship that assists college and university students find their first role in their area of study. My message today is regarding a frequently asked question from the students in the Onyx Initiative program. What is an essential skill that a business leader must possess? My answer is empathy. In September of 2021, I graduated from the DeGroote EMBA program. It was a bucket list item that COVID allowed me to complete. Dr. Helen Reese's The Empathy Effect, 7 neuroscience-based keys for transforming the way we live, love, work, and connect across difference is a book I read for my EMBA leadership class. My message is based on the essential learnings from Dr. Reese's book. An empathetic behavior is an essential human skill. In answering the question of why is empathy important, Dr. Reese writes, "We are all connected on a neurobiological level far more than we previously realized. Consciously or not, we are in constant natural resonance with one another's feelings. When we are engaged in shared mind awareness, the possibilities for mutual aid and collaborative problem solving abound." A case of empathy many of us enjoy is empathy for artists that produce music or art. The appreciation of art and music is our ability to empathize with the artists, meaning we feel the emotions the artist felt or intended the viewer to feel. All forms of art, including music, are the transmission of feelings using the art form as the medium. We feel our way into the emotions of the artist. An empathetic environment at work increases outcomes and job satisfaction. Through shared mind intelligence, some of you may need to interact with customers. Being empathic to your customers' needs will be an advantage over those only see the customer's checkbook. Customer empathy has grown in importance. Most organizations, it has evolved into creation of a new role in the C-suite, Chief Customer Officer, to advocate for the customer. At Amazon, customer obsession is our first leadership principle. It is represented in some of our meeting rooms by an empty orange chair, set aside for customers to remind us that we should not make any decisions that our customers would not understand. It is difficult to emphasize with those not from our community, meaning those who do not look like us, come from the same background, or share the same beliefs. Therefore, we must work harder to feel empathy outside of our community. Many of our political leaders lack empathy. These leaders use our differences to justify actions that increase our divisions and achieve their selfish political goals. We must be empathetic to those leaders that take action to bring us together without regard for the political outcome. Barack Obama stated, "Learning to stand in somebody else's shoes, to see through their eyes, that's how peace begins." And it's up to you to make that happen. Empathy is a quality of character that can change the world. Empathy for your friends and family members can be overlooked. As we interact with them daily, we take for granted that we understand the emotions of our friends and family members because we are in constant communication with them. Our relationship with our family is the gale force tailwind we need to meet the headwinds of our journeys. We must be there for each other and rely on each other for mutual benefit. Graduates, take the time to develop and exercise your empathic muscles. Empathy applies to all aspects of your life. Enjoy music and art with the artist's feelings in your mind. Take empathy to work with you. It is a tool in your toolkit that will accelerate your career progression and enrich your experience. Remember your friends and family. You must exercise empathy muscle with them too. Empathy is not an indication of weakness. It is an indication of strength. The strength to have your feelings alongside the feelings of others. Maya Angelou wrote, "I believe we all have empathy. We may not have the courage to display it." Throughout Canadian history, moments of our greatest shame were caused by our lack of empathy for others. Graduates, you have an opportunity to make the world a better place, a more empathic place that is good for all. The more I work with college and university students, the more optimistic I become for our empathic future. Finally, be curious, be bold, be empathic, and do great things. As we say in Jamaica, walk good. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Purbu. I would now like to welcome Dr. David Farrar, President and Vice Chancellor, to the podium to present the graduates to our Chancellor for admission to their degrees.
Will the graduates please stand? This is the great part when they turn the lights on and we can actually see you all. Madam Chancellor, on behalf of McMaster University Senate, I present to you these candidates and those in absentia in order that you may confer the appropriate degree upon them, and I bear witness that they are worthy and suitable.
Graduands, by my authority and that of the McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to admit those of you before me today and those in absentia to their individual degrees at McMaster University, with all the rights and privileges pertaining to those degrees. Please be seated.
Graduates, I now ask each of you to join me on stage so that the Chancellor and I may welcome you to the McMaster community of scholars. I would be delighted to shake your hand or bump your fist or touch elbows or to acknowledge your achievements without touching. Our Chancellor will acknowledge your achievements without touching. Congratulations.
Honoured guests, so that each graduate's name may be heard, it would be appreciated if during the presentation of the graduates you would hold your collective applause to the end of each degree category. Thank you. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Business Administration. Antara. Nadine Abdul Karim. Atishaya Adya. Galib Karim Alipai. Hannah Ali Meisterovich. Ankit Anand. Gonzalo Andres Avila Otazo. Gandhi Ayubi. Gurvia Kaur Baines. Katya Baudet Barton. Mikel Samuel Berehun. Nicholas Bevilacqua. Amulya Bhatt. Viral Vignesh Beda. Taylor Moore. Jeremy Charles Bradley. Gurashej Brar. Sana Zinal Brito. Anna Maria Bukoviec. Kelsey Sandra Burns. Michael Robert Cahill. Sanjana Chandarana Sanjay. Yao Yu Chang. Summer Chowdhury. Pallavi Chaurasia. Sean Arjan Chu. Yahweh Chuktai. Ian Cobby. Matteo Condotta. Sanoba Percy Dastur. Sumit Katan Dave. Claire Francis Dennis. Kuvir Singh Danao. Viranchi Dawan. Andrew Dupuy. Emma Elliott. Haris Ferrati. Ella Gair. Irangi Udeshika Gamage. Rajat Gandhi. Kartik Ganeshan. Kamran Golami. Divya Gupta. Sumya Gupta. Sunny Gupta. Maria Mawit Haile. Nikhil Harish. Xinghe. Graham Gordon Higgins. Nafis Hock. Nanchi Hu. Brandon Hunter. Pavitra Balasubaraman Iya. Radhika Jain. Sachi Jain Jaiswal. Rashik Jalil. Anisa Jamal. Li Ji. Aishwarya Joshi. Luke Peter William Carnott. Nikhil Thampi Yose Katumana. Savreen Kaur. Stephanie Dominica Elizabeth Keane. Abdurrahman Koda. Mustansir Kovaja. Andrei Kosanovic. Shivangi Kumar. Aman Kumari. Paulina Maria Kwasny. Victoria Lashuk. Christy Lee. Yi Lee. Eric David MacDonald. Chanel Antonia Mackay. Joel Robert James McPherson. Ashwin Matathil Ramakrishnan. Nafisa Mahbub. Nabodit Mainali. Vedika Malu. Siddharth Manda. Joseph Olusuji Marsh. Kevin Michael Mastry. Robert Sidney Mishchuk. Kushal Monga. Megri Musakanyan. Farhan Yunus Mughal. Atri Mukherjee. Manasi Nandakuma. Hui Shang Nguyen. Vivian Nwatikalo Nwa Okolo. Siobhan Janet O'Brien. Shraddha Oberoi. Oluwata Muisin Olajiji. Isabella Olivares. Gurjot Singh Pandey. Pawanpreet Panu. Sarah Pravin Parandeka. Christina Parente. Michael Philip James Paris. Christopher James William Parker. Nikita Parubhai Patel. Bharat Pau. Tegan Joanne May Pekoski-Schwier. Brian Peter Pedron. Yilin Peng. Christopher Pimentel. Ahmed Mahmoud Pirzada. Kartik Porwal. Subhash Singh Ratur. Paula Lebre Resende. Alexandra Mary Rizado. Clayton Casey Runspies. Lady Ross. Walid Rasunali. Kaiwaja Saba. Mark Anthony Sabotig. Vivian Sadeh. Omar Mohammed Saeed. Peter Frank Salmini. Tivish Sanasi. Megan Jukes Sansom. Tuitia Sapre. Zaria Sarda. Afrin Muzaffar Sawant. Soundarya Nivedita Selvam. Devin Edward Selvaraja. Siddharth Samir Shah. Shivam Shankar. Ashutosh Sharma. Garima Sharma. Sachin Sharma. Stephanie Shaw. Chirag Sheth. Rahul Nabakumar Shome. Abhishek Singla. Glothen Siri Segarama. Harsh Soman. Lu Ying Song. Mutuza Ali Saeed. Amna Saida. Adia Tahir. Ishan Thakur. Emilio Robert Valonio. Di Wang. Xinzheng Wang. Sean Joseph Wilson. Lindsay Marion Ray. Siyun Shu. Zhou Yang. Anahita Yazdani. Sana Yeka. Shalina Manke Yung. Haris Yoganathan. Michael Yuanpeng Zhang. Xiaojie Zhang. Yaijuan Zhang. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Finance. Simran Kaur. Omar Ishmum Ibn Asan. Chow Yui Tsao. Jai Chen Chen. Lu Chen. Tianxi Chen. Xinyi Chen. Xin Feng. Tanchi Gao. Sijie Gaon. Tao Hu. Yun Ying Huang. Ziyi Huang. Se Ji. Yeding Ji. Xinwei Jiang. Yijie Jiang. Yu Jiang. Ziyu Jin. Shanhui Lang. Nuoya Li. Xintong Li. Yihen Li. Zia Li. Xiaoran Ling. Donghao Liu. Jiaming Liu. Mud Mahbubuzabman. Lingze Meng. Yingji Liu. Ke Xiu. Mohammed Shehrar Sharid. Jaijia Shi. Yang Shi. Chu Xiao Sun. Yi Yun Tang. Hannah Wang. Jingshu Wang. Yuge Wang. Di Wu. Yao Yao Wu. Yu Hao Wu. Pei Jun Xie. Ye Shu. Yo Shu. Hai Shi Zhang. Hanmeng Zhang. Ji Chang Zhang. Ziwei Zhang. Rubin Zhou. Xuanji Zhou. Zibo Zhou. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Health Management. Abdul Rahman Abdul Aziz Abdul Aban. Holly Ann Axt. Matthew Baronitis. Kim Linda Bazinet. Alison Lindsay Bell. Anissa Jane Borneman. Carmen Janice Young Boyd. Yana Marie Cochran. Dawn Shannon Lorraine Donaldson. Charles Jadwick Draper. Fraser Drummond. Corey Michael Fitzgerald. Lindsay Hummelink. Sarangan Lingam. Lindsay Nicole McClellan. Stephanie Morrison. Denise Newtell. Daniela Ninkovic. Lauren Isabel Angela Noronha. Catherine Ashley Patrick Hall. Kimberly Pavley Clark. Bethany Marie Pride. Dorothy Shion. Sandra Rees Welsh. Rabia Siddiqui. Andrea Marie Smith. Kimberly Joy Thiessen. Suzanne Webster. Donna Zaraya Anjaroni. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Science. Aliyah Ahmed. Ariba Alam. Erkan Ali Kamir. Manas Bayat. Chiai Deng. Pulami Day. Mitchell Stewart Gillis. Serena Joelle Gunanayagam. Farial Ali Khan. Sandeep Kumar. Tamara Sawitha Mohana Vathan. Marveline Siosa Oni. Shwaravani Pravin Parandeka. Crystal Vani Ramnarine. Macbeth Mario Albert Vaz. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Commerce Honours. Ashley Ray Abraham. Rola Al-Sher. Imogen Jody Ames. Martina Amova. Omar Hazem Barakat. Chloe Benold Zaza. Bharti Badwaj. Vito Nicholas Dentamaro. Emily Juliet Dietrich. Michaela Teresa Doherty. Mehak Dut. Samuel Sullivan Williams Gencha. Christina Elaine Hall. Nicole Harris. Abia Hassan. Mohammed Hassan. Eric Clifford Jackson. Davis Moira Marie Kempster. Jazeel Andrew Arafin Middleton. Yale Claire Morris. Megan Ann Murphy. Dylan Pacheco. David Payton Jiveth. Brooke Emily Purdom. Samida Puri. Raghavi Remanthiram. Emily Leah Ranta. Aisha Rizwan. Taija Dawn Ryan. Inza Sahib. William Cunningham Stevenson. Beimnet Tekle. Tyler Jeffrey Toole. Alec Gabriel Volman. Rachel Catherine West. Yihao Xiao.
Let's give one more round of applause for all of our newest graduates. I would like to now introduce the valedictorians for this afternoon. I would like to first invite Mr. Chirag Sheth, a graduate of the degree Master of Business Administration, to deliver his valedictorian address.
Good afternoon and welcome. Chancellor Smith, President and Vice Chancellor Farrar, Dean Hassanin, McMaster University and DeGroote School of Business, faculty and staff, honored guests, and of course, the 2022 graduating class. I think I must start off by just saying how amazing it feels to be in person with all of you here today. My name's Chirag Sheth, and I'm honored to be standing up here representing the DeGroote graduating class. Now, today is a day for reflection and celebration, and I must say that being here in person with our full DeGroote community is the perfect way to cap off this experience. With that, a huge congratulations once again to the 2022 graduating class. We made it. However, it's important to recognize that none of us have made it here alone. There are many who supported us during this program, from senior management teams at McMaster and DeGroote that put together the overall vision, to faculty that taught us everything from how to do a discounted cash flow analysis to a reverse SWOT, and yes, I made sure I said reverse SWOT, to all the student experience staff that helped facilitate a great experience as we transitioned from online to in-person learning. And of course, everyone else behind the scenes that helped make this experience happen. We also thank all of the friends, family, partners, and spouses in this room today for your continued support throughout these years. as well as for your patience when our business school lingo would spill over into our personal lives, and we would use phrases like, "Let's circle back to this," when asking us what we wanted to get for dinner. All of this is to say that while today we're celebrating the 2022 graduating class, this is also a celebration for the entire extended DeGroote community that have helped us get to this moment. Now, as I reflect on my time at DeGroote, one defining feature of our graduating class is our resilience. It's no secret that many of us started our MBA journey under less than ideal circumstances. However, we didn't let that stop us. When major events like COVID happen in the world, the typical response can be characterized as fight or flight. We can disengage, go through the motions, and let the experience pass us by. Or we can choose to take ownership of our experience and our education to maximize on the opportunities available to us. Now, over these last few years, it's clear to say that our class did not flee. We chose to fight. Despite being in a virtual setting and dealing with Zoom fatigue for a large portion of our MBA, we were able to build lifelong relationships. We learned to think differently, to innovate, and find creative solutions to make this program work for us, despite the challenging yet unique circumstances each of us faced. Now, as we transition into the next step of our lives, I encourage you to take that same sense of intentionality with you. The world we're stepping into is going to look very different than what we see now and what we may remember from before COVID. Organizations will be facing new challenges. We will be facing new challenges. However, we can draw from our experience at DeGroote, take that same energy, and leverage the resilience we fostered here to continue turning challenges into opportunities going forward. Take ownership of your careers and make an impact. And as we head off on different paths, let's remember again that none of us is alone. If there's one word to define the MBA experience at DeGroote, it is community. We've developed amazing relationships over the past years, and those don't end when we stop our morning commute to the Ron Joy Center or when we no longer receive invitations to join a new random DeGroote WhatsApp group. You are a DeGroote MBA graduate for life. And that comes with the perk of remaining connected to this growing network wherever you may go. I'm honored and humbled to be up here today with this incredible group of people and for the opportunity to have met and worked with so many of you. We've taken what started off as a bunch of random Zoom windows and truly created a community. And if we can do that, we can do anything. I'm excited to see what we all achieve from here. So let's circle back in a few months and see just where we ended up on this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Chirag. I would now like to invite Ms. Momina Qureshi, a graduate of the degree Honors Bachelor of Commerce, to deliver her valedictorian address.
In true business fashion, I'd like to start off by addressing and thanking some key stakeholders in the room today. Chancellor Ms. Santee Smith, President and Vice Chancellor Dr. David Farrar, Dean of the DeGroote School of Business, Dr. Khalid Hussain, and distinguished faculty and staff. To the organizers behind the scenes who have made our first in-person convocation post-pandemic possible, thank you. To the proud parents, family, and friends watching from here or afar, thank you for your guidance and support in making this moment possible. And most importantly, fellow members of the DeGroote graduating class of 2022. This is probably not the first time that you're hearing this, but we did it. My name is Momina Qureshi, and I'm incredibly honored to be giving the undergraduate valedictorian address. So to all the DeGroote undergraduates in the audience, I want you to close your eyes and picture this. It's your first day of university. You're walking around McMaster struggling to find Musk. In fact, you don't even know what Musk means, or DSB, BSB, TSH, MDCL, because everybody and their grandmother seems to be using these crazy acronyms to describe every single building on campus. You're lost, confused, overwhelmed. Now open your eyes and take the last few years in. You've persevered and made it to the finishing line of your undergraduate journey. Like many of you, the start of my undergraduate journey wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. In fact, when that first exam season of first year hit, my grades were hanging by a thread. Knees quivering, hands shaking, I walked into our beloved student experience office. "Why are you here today?" they asked. I immediately burst into tears. In that moment of comfort, I was given 9 words that changed the trajectory of my university journey. You are here for a reason. Find your purpose. And so my quest began. Hidden far beyond textbooks, I discovered valuable lessons surrounding resiliency, diversity, and community. After all, it is education with purpose that is not only the tagline, but the crux of the degree that we hold today. So let's examine the question of the hour. What is education with purpose? Education with purpose represents diversity. Look around you. You are surrounded by fellow peers from different backgrounds, heritages, traditions, all of whom which make a diverse mosaic of the graduating class of 2022. The diversity around you is a symbol for a brighter future full of award-winning ideas and innovations. Education with purpose is also the experiences that you've built along the way. From learning the art of choosing which one of these is the most correct answer in multiple choice exams, to having your first ever Saturday midterm on HOCO, to the mouth-watering feeling of experiencing your first ever Willy Dog, to participating and leading many extracurriculars and intramurals, and sometimes maybe even spending more time on the fun than the academics. We're not only binded by this very fancy piece of paper, but captured memories of the DeGroote community that you'll be sharing back with your families at the dinner table, looking back with sheer nostalgia, pride, and joy. It's also the mistakes that you've made along the way, including leaving your lectures, your online lectures, to watch last minute at 2 times speed, or pre-planning this big 24-hour thode grind to only walk away with deep life chats and a few words written on that document. Your name, your student number, and if you're lucky, the title. Education with purpose is resiliency through hardship. Knowing that you're on this path to achieve something great, but challenges may arise throughout the way. Midway throughout our degree, we said goodbye to the campus we called home and said hello to a newfound way to learn. With 8:30 a.m. lectures in bed and wearing sweatpants at the bottom and blazers on top, dare I say, a newfound approach to business casual. In these times of uncertainty, you embraced change, not taking anything for granted when you returned to campus. When you walk out these doors and step into now what's known as the real world, remember that purpose that you started off with and how that has evolved over the last 4 or 5 years. Being at DeGroote has only determined a part of who you are. Your purpose is about to go through so many iterations of reevaluation and rediscovery. So it's inevitable that there will be moments that will feel like that first day all over again. And if there's one key takeaway I can leave you with, it's to remember that within a snap of your fingers, the world can come to a full pivot. As the next generation of business leaders, we now harness the power to channel resiliency and work with our diverse communities to make a lasting impact. I challenge you, no matter how big or small, take that leap of faith, embrace curiosity, and make your bright ideas a reality. It's the small actions that leave a big impact. And as you start to navigate this real world, simply the commonality of being a McMaster graduate is the gateway to so many conversations and connections. If you ever need anything, there are so many people in this room that are proud of you and everything that you've done so far. You've got the power of this community supporting you for your next chapter. Class of 2022, congratulations and welcome to the start of leaving your legacy with purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Momina. Now, I would like to introduce Ms. Remy Gascoigne, a graduate from the Master of Business Administration, class of 2021, and a representative of the McMaster Alumni Association. Remy will now deliver the Alumni Association address.
Thank you. All these big words like reverse SWOT, it's so businessy. It's really taking me back. Chancellor Smith, President Farrar, award winners, honorees, faculty, fellow alumni, guests, special shout out to the DeGroote MBA students, thank you, and especially members of the class of McMaster 2022, holy moly. A few years or a few decades from now, your memories of McMaster may be dominated by friendships, by extracurricular activities, or perhaps by learning experiences that sent you on a particular path. And for this class specifically, the pandemic could play a central role in your memories, or it could become a footnote as you try to forget it ever happened. Regardless, there's a fairly good chance that significant parts of your time as a Mac student will become what we often call the good old days. All philosophers have written about the good old days, including giants such as Dolly Parton, Ziggy Marley, Usher, Weird Al, and probably the greatest philosopher of all time, Rick Astley. You know what's great about being an alumni speaker is that they can't take away my degree for these terrible jokes. But please check back next year to see if I'm invited again. I prefer the wisdom of Andy Bernard for those of you that might get your paper from Dunder Mifflin, who said, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them." Regardless of the specific Mac memories that stick with you, regardless of how your student experience influences your life, I hope McMaster stays with you as a part of your good old days, while at the same time playing a role in your good new days. Our job at the McMaster Alumni Association is to give you a variety of ways to link your present to the best parts of your McMaster past. As new grads, you are also members of MAC 10, which supports alumni in the first 10 years after graduation. Whether you're looking for assistance getting that first job, or helping navigating the next steps in your career, the Alumni Association offers resources, event programs, and even alumni career counseling to assist. And as you begin your adulting period of your life, we connect you with exciting things like preferred home rates, for those of you that can afford a home in this status, and auto insurance or health and dental coverage and social events where we collectively reminisce about those good old days at MAC when we Zoomed and houses were affordable. And even if your path takes you away from Hamilton, whether that's in Canadian centers from Victoria to Halifax, or in international cities around the world, there may be McMaster alumni events and connections nearby. Just keep your contact information up to date on your alumni profile, and we'll make sure that you receive the invitations wherever there's something going on in your community. Of course, there's also a never-ending stream of events, networking opportunities, mentoring, programming that you can access online from anywhere, live and on demand, when it fits your schedule. When you leave Convocation, I know that my little speech will not be your most powerful memory of the day, but hopefully some echo of it will linger in the back of your mind where it will be ready when you want to connect with your university again. When that day comes, 2 weeks or maybe even 20 years from now, we'll be here because Rick Astley said we will never give you up. Members of the McMaster class of 2022, it is my honor and privilege to congratulate you on your convocation, but also to welcome you to the family that is known as the McMaster Alumni Association. Thank you.
Thank you, Remy. May I invite our President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. David Farrar, back to the podium to deliver his President's Address.
Chancellor Smith, distinguished guests, award winners, faculty, members of the McMaster community, members of the McMaster graduating class of 2022, friends and family. It's really good to see you here in person, as I said before, and not on a small screen in a small square. For the last 2 years, we have dealt with an unwelcome guest in our lives, a global pandemic that has reminded us how fragile our lives really are and how much we need to be together. Members of the graduating class, for the last 2 years, you have worked through isolation, disruption, and possibly even health challenges and personal loss created by COVID-19. Despite of these formidable conditions, you completed your degree. So congratulations, you persisted. I want to congratulate each of you for your ability to adapt, thrive, and succeed. As you graduate from McMaster today, you have the opportunity to choose a vision for your future and a vision for our planet. The question is, what will you do with that choice, that freedom, that power? Undoubtedly, the last 2 years have given you an opportunity to reflect on what really matters to you and what your next steps will be. Today, we find ourselves facing not only the ongoing global pandemic, but an alarming decline in the strength of our democratic institutions, an acceleration of the negative impacts of climate change, an increasing gap in wealth between classes, and the possibility of widening war in Eastern Europe. These challenges seem so great, they can be overwhelming, and we end up feeling powerless. What can we do as individuals to take on these significant questions and make a difference? Let me offer you 2 small examples. 50 years ago, a young social worker in Philadelphia, concerned about hunger and food insecurity that she was seeing in low-income neighborhoods where she was working, published a small paperback book called Diet for a Small Planet. This was one of the original copies. Frances Moore-Lepay's argument was that universal access to healthy and sustainable diets would provide a global springboard for a better economy, more functional democracies, stronger economies, and increased social justice. Moore-Lepay was not a vegetarian, but to her it seemed obvious that growing plants for consumption was far more cost-effective and eco-conscious than raising animals for food. The book reflected her deep concern for our small, interconnected planet, and that it was failing in its responsibility to meet the fundamental needs of the people to have enough healthy food. The connection between healthy food and strong democracies may seem obvious today, but for Moore-Lepay at the time of the Diet for a Small Planet, it was considered radical and dangerous. Her ideas and arguments were attacked by large food processing companies, by agribusinesses, and by the meat industry. At the same time, her vision was influencing a new generation of farmers and cooks and restaurateurs. The farm-to-table movement, community-supported agriculture, more sustainable farming, organic farming can all be traced back to the revolutionary vision in this small paperback. It sold millions of copies and has just been reissued in its 50th edition. It was a vision of hope and possibility, and it called for courage to act individually and together. I'll give you one other very small change close to home. A few years ago, Canada's largest bread company created a sustainability team to look at reducing greenhouse gas emissions and diverting waste from landfill. One of the company's suppliers raised the issue of those very small plastic bread tags. The bread tags are so small that most people don't even think about them, but this company knew that if you laid those red plastic tags side to side, in 1 year they would go from Vancouver to St. John's, Newfoundland, and back. That's a lot of single-use plastics. Replacing it took considerable trial and error. They couldn't compromise the quality of the packaging, or they would end up creating more food waste. Eventually, they came up with a small bread tag made out of 100% recyclable cardboard that's both recyclable itself and compostable. This month, they've transitioned fully to the new cardboard tags in their bread products. So, small example, a large distance. What will you do with your McMaster degree? Maybe your passion will be for global warming, or maybe it will be for injustice, or for inequality, or social justice, or medicine, or health, or technology. But given the pace of change, I would argue that you probably can't imagine what that challenge will be. How do you prepare for that? Well, look back at your time at McMaster. The answer is you prepare by being curious, by being resilient, by being collaborative, ambitious, and determined, by challenging assumptions, and by focusing on facts, and by making courageous choices. So I encourage you, as you celebrate this important milestone, to take some time to think about your contribution to a better, brighter world. Whatever your area of study, your McMaster degree has equipped you with the tools to solve critical problems and to make significant impact on our community. I'm confident that you will take the experience and the insight from living through this pandemic and create a world worth having. And finally, when you received your diploma from McMaster today, you'll note that there's only one name on it, yours. But I suspect that many people have helped you get to this point. I hope you'll take some time to thank those people in your life who've helped you get here. The end of your studies and the granting of your degree may seem as if you're crossing a finish line, but you're really actually just beginning. I wish you the very best on your journeys. Welcome to the worldwide community of McMaster alumni.
Thank you, Dr. Farrar. May I invite our Chancellor, Ms. Santee Smith, back to the podium to deliver her closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Farrar. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2022. Let's do another round of applause for everyone. I am also McMaster alumna, and I look forward to seeing where you go from here. And I wanted to echo some of the words the beautiful words that we heard today from all of the speakers about purpose, opportunity, and choices, and impact. So I hope you move forward, taking those words that you heard with you today and adding them to your journey, your next stages. Chirig and Momina, congratulations on all of your accomplishments and the eloquently said alumni address. You are all graduates and members of this wonderful McMaster family, and it is a family. McMaster seems to call you back, as it called me back many times, for research and partnerships and collaboration, so I hope that is for you as well. Nyawe, Dr. Farrar, for your words of wisdom, and you gave us a lot to think about. I hope you take Dr. Farrar's words with you as you go forward as well and make wise choices. I think it's a part of everybody's understanding that we are on this earth for a purpose, and one of them is first to find what our purpose is, but more importantly, once we find it, to share it for the betterment of everyone. So Nyawe, I wish you the very best moving forward to all of you. Now in closing, I have a few final announcements. A reception will be held for the graduates and their guests in the Wentworth Room in the Convention Center immediately following the ceremony. I also encourage graduates and guests to make their way to the mezzanine level, where a number of photo opportunities have been set up in and outside of the Great Hall. Finally, I would ask that you please remain standing at your seats until the academic procession and the graduates have left the hall. Please join in the singing of the national anthem, and after the singing of the anthem, this convocation stands adjourned. Yahweh.